To speak English is what we all want. It's the skill that we crave the most and probably one of the hardest to master. In this video, I will show you how to improve your English speaking by telling you exactly what you need to improve and how you can practice it. I'm Kayla, let's go. When we talk about English speaking, there are three main aspects that we need to take into consideration. The first one is pronunciation. And normally when we talk about pronunciation, we only think about how we pronounce individual words. And yes, this is a main part of pronunciation, but there are many other aspects that also contribute to good pronunciation, like intonation, that is how we raise and lower the voice to convey meaning, assimilation, that is when a sound becomes like the next sounds or the previous sound. For example, when you say good girl, the D becomes more like a G. And this is what we call assimilation. And also another aspect of pronunciation is reduced vowels, very common in spoken English. And as you can see, pronunciation goes very deep. But having just a basic understanding of what is pronunciation is enough. You don't need a master's degree in pronunciation and learn every single aspect of these things that I mentioned. And also you don't have to apply all of this in your speaking. We don't have to sound like a native speaker. And I know that I spoke briefly about a lot of things, but don't worry that I have a resource that makes very easy to apply all of this in just one app, and I will share that later in the video. The second aspect that we have to take into consideration when practicing our speaking is fluency, and this is something that comes with a lot of practice. One important aspect that I think everyone should know is that you need to stop thinking that you're going to speak English in the same way that you speak Spanish, at least not at the beginning. When you practice your speaking, you need to form the sentences and your thoughts with the vocabulary that you already know. And I know that this sounds obvious, but it's a very common mistake. For example, I didn't know the phrase every other week, so instead of saying that, I used to say 1 week yes, 1 week no. I found a way to communicate what I wanted to say with the vocabulary that I had. And the last thing that we need to consider is correct grammar. Whether you like to study grammar or not, grammar is always and will always be a part of English and any languages. And of course, we need to use that correctly. So these are the three main aspects that we need to consider when we practice our skill. And now I'm going to share my favorite ways to practice for pronunciation. Like I mentioned before, there is one app that has everything when it comes to English pronunciation. And this app is Speak. And the way that this works is that it will have you pronounce different words and different texts, and it's going to analyze the way that you speak and compare it with native speakers. So the artificial intelligence is going to tell you what you have to improve in terms of pronunciation of individual words, intonation, stress vowels, everything that I mentioned. You have all the pronunciation practice in just one app. I'm going to do a quick intonation practice to show you how it works. Also, the voice in the recording has an echo and I couldn't figure out how to avoid that, so sorry for that.
I don't speak English fluently.
I don't speak English fluently. And as you can see, when I say something incorrectly, it highlights the word in red, and above it tells me what I need to change. I don't speak English fluently. And here finally I did it correctly. You can practice with intonations, conversations, individual words, sounds, it has everything. And one of the things that I love the most about Speak is that it uses the International Phonetic Alphabet. And this is in my opinion the best way to know how to pronounce English. It tells you exactly what you have to do with your mouth to produce the sound. And I also have an entire video talking about the International Phonetic Alphabet, and I'm going to have it here in the card above. So in my opinion, this app is the perfect way to practice what is English pronunciation. And they also have a gift for you, and they gave me a special link for Speak Pro 7 days free. And you can access that in the description or in the pinned comment. And if you're ready to buy, I also have another link for 40% discount on the yearly membership and 85% discount on the lifetime membership. This app is great, so if you want to use it, you can take advantage of those offers. So thank you, Speak, for fluency. When it comes to fluency, there are many activities that you can do. But the main thing that you have to keep in mind is that the first thing that you have to do is listen. Before you even start talking, you need to listen. And you will see that you will learn a lot by doing so. You will learn vocabulary, common phrases, and eventually your brain is going to start picking up on all of the things that you're learning, and you will start using it in your speaking. So you can do this by watching shows, watching videos, listening to podcasts, anything that involves listening. And apart from listening, of course, you can do other practices for your speaking. Some of the things that you can do are shadowing, is when you listen and you imitate what the other person is saying. Something like this. I'm in a hotel in New York City today. Let's hang out. Just you and me. Let's make a video. Let's learn some English and just have a good time. You can also read out loud. You can take a short text and you can read it out loud, or you can speak to yourself. This was my favorite way to practice English speaking. And to do so, you just have to talk about certain topic for 2 to 3 minutes. And this is great because you're not copying another person or reading. You have to force your brain to produce the English and organize your thoughts to create the English. And always when you practice with these race activities, what I recommend is that you record yourself, so after you practice, you can listen to the recording and see how well you did in terms of pronunciation and fluency. And last, how to check your grammar. And this can be a little bit tricky because when you study without teachers, you don't have someone to tell you what are your mistakes, what you did good, what you did bad. But right now we have artificial intelligence, and this is what I recommend when it comes to grammar. The artificial intelligence that I like the most is called Pi, your personal AI, because I feel like it has a personality. And when you talk to it, it feels like you're talking and you're having a real conversation. So that's the one that I always recommend. But you can use another one like a Pilot or ChatGPT. To use AI in this way, you have to prompt it and tell it to become your English partner. And when you practice with Pi, the only thing that you have to do is open your app. Then you're going to use the little phone icon that is in the chat and you can start talking. Hey, I'm learning English. Can you act as my English partner so we can have conversations and I can practice my speaking? Please ask me questions about my daily life and correct me when I make mistakes.
Sure thing. Let's chat about your daily life. Do you have a morning routine that you follow every day?
And when the AI tells you those mistakes, you of course have to be aware, and in your next practice, you try to avoid them. Another thing that you can do, but it requires a little bit more involvement, is try to correct yourself. And it takes a little bit of time, but it can be done. The best thing is that you will absorb the knowledge better because you are part of the process. How you can do it is you're going to do the same practice where you talk to yourself. You are going to select a topic and speak for 2 to 3 minutes. And you have to record yourself. After you finish, you can listen again to that recording and you're going to try and notice all those mistakes that you have. You have to be very aware and understand very well grammar. You can listen 2 or 3 times to try to catch those errors. It takes a little bit of time, like I mentioned, but you can learn so much. Now, ideally, you will do all of these activities so you can get all the benefits that they have. And also, depending on your level and what you need, you can implement one or the other. For example, if you are in the A2 level, you can use shadowing or speak. And if you are in a B1 level, you can focus more on talking to yourself or doing it with AI. This will depend on what you need. Okay, so this is everything for today's video. I hope you like it. Remember that you have a discount for Else Speak and you can use it with the links in the description and also the links in the pinned comment. If you like this video, let me know. You can leave a like and also subscribe to my channel for more videos on how to learn English on your own, just like I did. Thank you so much for being here and I hope I see you on the next video. Bye bye.